Hi everyone. Welcome to the daily reading. It is June 4th. It's my oldest son's 18th birthday, so happy birthday to Parker. Yeah, crazy that I have an 18-year-old. It's like insane. I can't even believe that it actually happened. And how did that happen? When you like stop and think about it and you're like, man, that happened really, really fast, but it didn't. So I hope everybody's doing really well today. We're gonna talk about the planets and some things that are happening right now. So right now, the moon and Mercury are still in Gemini. We had the new moon in Gemini yesterday. It was really powerful energy. It had a lot of um, beginning energy, some really cool beginning and just like getting started on new projects and new things and thinking. And that's what the moon and Mercury will do for you, is help you get started on new opportunities when it's conjunct like that, especially in a sign like Gemini, because Mercury rules Gemini, right? So the moon, in actually just a couple of hours, will be moving, depending on where you are, will be moving into Cancer. And later on today, this afternoon, Mercury will be moving into Cancer. So it'll still be conjunct. Mercury's moving at a pretty quick pace right now. Once it gets to Leo later on in the month, we will end up going retrograde in July, but that's future forward thinking. I know a lot of people are, when Mercury retrograde, they want to know when it's going to happen, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as it gets closer when we get into the shadow period of it, because we'll be in a shadow period for a couple of weeks before it actually goes retrograde. But the moon and Mercury will still be conjunct with each other for a while as it moves into Cancer. Interestingly enough, uh, everything's going to kind of slow down a little bit. The pace will not be as fast as it was in Gemini, because Gemini is a mutable sign. Cancer is the cardinal water sign. And with cardinal energy, yes, we still like to get things moving, but it's more of a jumping off point instead of a running at, it's not like the Wile E. Coyote or the road runner. It's more like the Wile E. Coyote. Like the Wile E. Coyote is the one that like thinks up everything, and the road runner is the one that destroys it all, right? So we're slowing down a little bit, not like 100%, but we're slowing down a little bit. And because Cancer is a water sign, it's a little more, and plus the North Node is also in Cancer, so we're going to have that um, conjunction with the North Node this month as well. Not right now, but Mercury will conjunct with the North Node eventually, and North Node is your Dharma in this lifetime. So wherever you're kind of seeing Cancer in your chart, that's where it's going to affect you. And when we have this kind of cluster that's going on, we also have Neptune in Pisces. So, and Neptune is in trine with the North Node in Cancer. What does that mean? That means that it's like the triangle, right? Because we have the moon in Cancer, we have Neptune in Pisces, and then we have the North Node in Cancer as well. So a trine is actually a really easy, it works well together, but because it's watery, there might be like flights of fancy because Mercury is also going to be there. So it's going to be a little difficult for the next couple of days probably to stay super grounded. You might have to work a little bit harder to stay a little bit grounded. I mean, nothing to worry about. This is a creative time. It's like everything that you really thought of to bring into fruition yesterday can kind of flow now. Just make sure you're not making it an illusion. Make sure you're making it more real than like flights of fancy kind of thing, because Neptune can make us like want to do things that it feels real in the moment and it seems really, really beautiful and it looks amazing. But then we try to make it happen and it's like, well, what the hell just, where did it all go? It was washed away by all the flights of fancy, by all the illusion that was going on. So there's also, what else is Neptune doing? There was one other thing. that I saw on my little list. I use, by the way, people have asked me, like, what is it that I use? I have this app, and like I said, it's called the Time Nomad app that I have on my Apple phone. Like I said, I'm not a professional astrologer, but I love looking up at the sky. I love looking up the things that are happening in the sky for that day and to kind of see how it plays out in my day. Like, I don't do it to project how my day is going to be, but I like to kind of see, oh yeah, that really did kind of happen to me. Like, I think about it at the end of the day and I'm like, oh dang, that's really interesting that that happened to me. So that's basically, I'm trying to give you the layman's term, the not the astrologer's terms of how things might go. I'm sure there's going to be somebody on here that's going to tell me, no, that's not what's happening. It's going to be different than that. There was something else. There is a sextile with Neptune and, oh, Saturn and Neptune. There's a sextile between Saturn and Neptune and the South Node and Neptune. And Saturn and the South Node are both in Capricorn right now. It's not an exact sextile, but a sextile is also a very easy relationship. It's almost like you don't even have to try. Like, it just kind of happens. Oh, excuse me. Whether you like it or not, things just kind of happen when they're in sextile. And because Saturn is Big Daddy Karma, and the South Node is also about karma, again, the flights of fancy that you could have right now, if it's whatever it is that you're thinking about doing right now, and if you aren't staying grounded in the process that you're using to get things done, it could be something that could bite you in the ass later, right? So make sure that whatever it is that you're planning on doing, this could be in work, this could be in relationships, like whatever it is, because Saturn rules all of karma, and the South Node talks about your karma from past lifetimes or from childhood or something like that. And Neptune really works with that childhood aspect of the flights of fancy and wanting to do illusions and stuff. Okay. So now that we got that all out of the way, let's real quick talk about some business things. Just wanted to throw out there. If you want to sign up for emails to get updates on what the events are that I'll be doing in the coming months, please go to my website, fearlessintuition.net. This summer, we are going to be visiting Midwest cities and cities on the West Coast. Several people have asked me, when are you coming to the Northeast? I actually came to the Northeast last year. I was up in the Northeast last year, and I was actually down in Florida last year. So I won't be doing that again until like maybe we'll do it later on this year. But I got to spend time with my kids too. So in the summertime, it's a lot easier for me to travel. Also, but I will also be doing some workshops, some online workshops that you can sign up for. But you can get all of that information in the emails that I'm going to start sending out, gathering information for that to get some emails sent out. And right now I have the alignment sessions, the alignment coaching, the one-on-one alignment coaching sessions, and the 1-hour readings are on sale for June. I don't know how many readings I'll be able to do while we're traveling in July and August. So, I'm releasing them in small amounts. We'll put it that way. So, and I also still have some 30-minute readings available too. Those are not on sale, but the alignment coaching and the 1-hour readings are both on sale. I think that's it. Oh, and if you would like to purchase any of the t-shirts, any of the merchandise, go to my website, fearlessintuition.net, and there's the merchandise tab at the top. All right, now that we got that all out of the way, this is going along exactly with what I said. Sorry, my allergies. It is allergy season. I appreciate everybody's things for me to try to get rid of my allergies, but I've always had allergies. Like, literally, I think I was born with a stuffy nose. So I've really tried everything in my life. Really tried everything in my life. Okay. Remember that time isn't linear. Energy is fluid. This could be something that happens to you today. This could be something that happens during the week. This could be something that happened to you last year. I told a story about how there was a reading that showed up from my friend Eric at Divine Conversations. There was a reading that showed up in my homepage on YouTube, and it was from January 30th. And I watched it, and it was literally resonating at that moment in time. It was crazy. And it was like 3 or 4 months later that it showed up. And I don't even think I watched it at the time of it, but his daily readings are awesome. So his morning coffee readings are really awesome. So if you have, my hair is like all over the place, sorry. If you have time in the morning to watch his morning coffees, he's really good about getting it out super early in the morning. I'm not, obviously. All right, let's look at the cards. So we have the Hermit. This is going along exactly with what I said. The Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. You got to be methodical in the decisions that you're making right now. And the path that you're taking, the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles are both saying easy does it, slow and steady, right? A lot of people don't like the Knight of Pentacles energy because after yesterday's energy that was really quick paced and really fast and everything was moving forward, now we're being asked to really slow down and look at things in a very methodical way because you don't want to skip the steps. The Knight of Pentacles is asking you to not skip the steps. And that can be difficult sometimes when we really want to get things off the ground. Make sure that you are doing, the Knight of Pentacles is a methodical, analytical creature of habit, right? And so is the Virgo. So is the Hermit. Some of you might be pulling back from people right now. This Saturn and South Node conjunction that we just had, but the Saturn and North Node being in sextile, that could all really make you want to pull in and have quiet time while you're making these decisions. You don't have to ask the peanut gallery all the time about what their thought process is or what they think about something or whatever, right? The Two of Wands is you're not really stuck. Being stuck is kind of an illusion to you. You're not actually stuck right now. The Two of Wands, if you look at, I love this deck. This is the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis and illustrated by, oh, I forgot his name. I don't remember, but you can look it up. It's the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis. The Two of Wands here, typically in the Two of Wands, you see a man standing there with the globe in his hand. So he has like the whole world in front of him as he makes his decisions, right? This guy, he has one foot tied to one wand, one hand tied to the other, and he's happily talking to a bird. I call the Two of Wands in this deck my comfortably stuck card because he doesn't want to move, but he's going to have to. I mean, eventually he's going to have to untie himself and make a decision and move, right? And like I said, the Nine of Pentacles, again, you're not stuck, but it feels like it. It feels like it. So we have the Hanged Man and the Nine of Pentacles, and it may feel like you're doing everything all on your own right now. It may really feel like you don't have a crew to help you. Even if you do have people surrounding you that are helping you right now, it may feel like you're in this alone. I don't think you are. But it may feel like it. And then we have the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And this is what I mean, like all this water energy that's happening right now is going to make everybody extremely intuitive, very, very open. The Moon and Mercury in conjunction in Cancer later today and then tomorrow also. The Moon will be in Cancer until June 6th. But Mercury's flying so fast, I feel like they're going to be in conjunction together for at least a day and a half. That's going to make everybody really, really intuitive. Like psychic abilities are going to be on point. I'm excited about this energy for the next couple of days because personal readings are going to be off the wall. So I love it when Mercury because Mercury rules my sign, the sign of Virgo, right? So I love it when Mercury is in a really psychic position with the Moon or with Neptune or, it's perfect, right? Even Mercury retrograde for me is really, really awesome because that just means that Mercury is closer to Earth and I can play off of it more. We'll talk about that a little bit more again. I feel like there's something big that's going to be happening during Mercury retrograde, and that's why I keep bringing it up. So we'll just keep that in mind for the next couple of months as we do these daily readings, that when things like that pop up. This Nine of Swords, even though you're going to be in a really more intuitive and psychic ability time, it could drive you, like it could give you a lot of anxiety. Because a lot of times when our soul really wants us to go one direction, or our intuition is telling us to do one thing, our ego is pulling us the other way, which would be the Nine of Swords, right? The ego is pulling us the other way, and that could very much keep us stuck. This Hanged Man is telling you to look at things in a different perspective, though. Not everything has to be a flight of fancy or an illusion, but not everything has to be really methodical either. Okay? So, the Hermit. Let's see what this Hermit is. I also have some necklaces that are going to be up on my website probably later this week. I think Ryan's working on the website right now. And yeah, we have a lot of really cool, clear crystal quartz, like amazing handmade jewelry that before it is sent to you, it will be charged with Reiki energy from me. And like it'll be prayed over and charged with Reiki energy. It's going to be really cool. So if you want to get updated on that as well, that'll be in the emails that come out later this week too. Okay. So this Hermit is really trying to find the stability in life. So this could actually be a Virgo you're dealing with in your existence, or this could be you just like in that hermit mode of, with the Ten of Pentacles here, of where is my stability? Like, it's so interesting because the Hermit actually brings information to people. The Hermit is the person that goes to the top of the mountain, gets all of its information from source, and then brings it back down. And I did not even start a timer or anything with this reading. I hope it's not too long today. But brings it all back down from source and gives it to all the people. So I feel like a lot of us are kind of going within. The Hermit energy is not a bad thing. You're supposed to pull away from people. You can't be around people 100% of the time, all the time. Like that's just not, it's not feasible, right? And I feel like there is this push-pull thing that's happening where we still want to be in that Gemini energy, which is kind of still happening right now for the next couple of hours while the Moon and Mercury are in conjunction in Gemini before it moves in, before they both move into Cancer later. But that Knight of Swords on the Knight of Pentacles, it feels like a push-pull. It feels like some of us really want to keep moving forward super, super fast. And some of us, or like a part of us, like half of our, it's almost like our ego wants to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And then the other part of us is like, no, it's time to slow down now. You've already got things moving. You already have things in motion. And so that's where the trust factor comes in. That's where we have to rely on source. We've already planted the seeds. We're already headed in a really amazing direction. We're already going in the way that we're supposed to be going in. We just have to trust and slow down. Sorry, my nose is like so super, super itchy. And as we make these decisions, the only reason why we get stuck in making decisions is when we fight with ourselves. So it's like nobody else is really fighting with you. You really are only fighting with yourself right now. So, yeah, and I feel like a lot of this has to do with past circumstances and where you thought you were supposed to be versus where the universe is trying to show you where you are supposed to be. This feels very reminiscent of a time in my life when I was like, I need to have, like, the only way that I'm going to feel safe and secure is if I have the really big, nice house and the really nice car and the really nice this and the really nice job that has all the benefits and blah, 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 you know, all the things, right? All the things that everybody tells you this is how you're supposed to adult, you know, like you're supposed to have all these things and that means you're a real adult. Except sometimes your soul is not supposed to have all of those things for a time or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that you are not destined to have the nice car and the nice house and the nice job and all that stuff, but your soul really has to be comfortable with where it is right now before you can manifest all the things in your life, right? And if it's your sole purpose, like, I know it's my sole purpose to travel and to meet people and to do events, and I know that it's my sole purpose to be doing this instead of working in a cubicle every day, which I did for the majority of my adult life. And actually most of my teenage life too, because I was an administrative assistant from like 16 years old. So you have to remember, yeah, what a cliche, right? A Virgo being an administrative assistant. Such a cliche. So you have to remember, I feel like that's what this Hermit is kind of saying to everybody right now with this 10 of Pentacles. Really, really decide what it is that you want that 10 of Pentacles to look like. Because you can have all the things, but if you have all the things and it is not feeding your soul, then what's the point of having all the things? Because there are some people out there that have everything they've ever wanted materially, but they're dead inside. So how does that work, right? And so that's what I feel like you're kind of at a crossroads. That's where that two of Wands is making me feel like you're at a crossroads. And I know that sometimes it feels like you're alone in your abundance, because this 9 of Pentacles, she looks very, very alone. But you actually have people around you that are helping you grow in that abundance. And if you don't feel like you have people around you, or you legit don't have people around you, that means the universe has cleared out all of the toxic energies in your life so that you can attract your soul people, your soul tribe, right? That 3 of Cups on the 9 of Pentacles is very, very telling, because she looks, look how like sad. I mean, her only friend is a squirrel. And then we have the celebration of all of the 3 of Cups. That's you and me and us coming together and making a third energy, which is Source. Or this could be you and 2 other people in your life that are super, super close to you and amazing. My point with that is looking at things in a different perspective. Even if you feel like you're alone right now and you don't have anybody that you can count on, just remember that the universe is here to provide for you. The universe is not here to smite you. The universe is here. And so to be vulnerable enough, to open yourself up to the possibility that other people are out there to be your confidants, to be your friends. The thing is we shut down when it comes to vulnerability because we're afraid to get hurt, right? But if we shut down because we're afraid to get hurt, then we're shutting down to love too. We're shutting down to the possibility of friendship, the possibility of love, the possibility of existing in a soul tribe. So you have to be vulnerable and open. That's a risk that we take in all of our lives, right? That's a risk that we take. So then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody's dealing with an earth sign. You could be the earth sign. But the thing with the Queen of Pentacles on the Hanged Man here is, again, we're going back and forth between the flights of fancy, the illusion, the intuitive nature versus the logical, right? Because we have the Queen of Cups over here that's kind of driving you crazy. And your intuition can drive you crazy sometimes if you let it. But we also have the logical side being driven crazy. If you look at that Hanged Man, it's like literally a person in a straitjacket stuck on a tree. That's crazy, right? So if you're trying to figure out, is my intuition right or is my logical side right? I guarantee you both sides are driving you a little bit nuts. That's when you get quiet. Don't try to make sense of things that don't make sense. Sometimes your soul purpose and the path that you're supposed to go on, and this is what we talk about in the one-on-one coaching alignment sessions, sometimes your soul purpose doesn't make any sense, and it's a really hard path to take. It is not an easy path to take, but it's worth it. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or what anybody else says about what it looks like, as long as it is fulfilling you, as long as it is making you feel good. Doesn't matter how much money you make, as long as you're able to take care of yourself, right? And your brood, your people, your children, if you have them, right? I mean, you still have to be responsible. If you are responsible for tiny humans, please be responsible for them. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Cups, because I could really talk all day long about, I love the alignment sessions. I love it because it's helped so many people already. And some people just need one, and some people have done several alignment sessions. But it is how, I mean, like, I love watching people just kind of like have that aha moment and be like, oh, wow. And it's not even, you're doing so much of the work. I'm just the one that's like giving you the push, the shove, the nudge to go that direction. I'm really glad that I started doing that a couple of months ago, the alignment, like offering the coaching alignment sessions, because it really is something that makes me feel like I'm helping. Because the cards are the cards, and I love reading the cards too. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I have a psychology background. So when it comes down to it, that's the person that I am, the therapist, right? But that's what it's so cool for people to be like, oh, they kind of have that aha. Oh, I get it now. I see. Now, if you're concerned about another person or a relationship, and because what Neptune is doing right now with the North Node and with the sextile with Saturn and the South Node, I mean, because there's, like I said, there's so much karma that it doesn't even have to just do with work or, platonic relationships. It could actually do something, and Venus will be moving from Taurus into Gemini later on this week. Actually, I think it's on June 8th. So Venus is going to get really, really uncomfortable later this week as it gets into Gemini. It's not going to be uncomfortable. It's just going to be more like flights of fancy instead of really grounded and feeling just like natural and groovy like Taurus energy does. Venus is going to be a little bit more like, yay, let's party. Let's have a really good time. So if you're really concerned about a connection that you're in right now and you just can't figure it out, I guarantee you, if you stop trying to figure it out and you let it flow a little bit easier, because whatever you're saying, whatever the communication's going to be right now, it's not going to feel like it's in retrograde, but it's not going to be like super logical and super on point. Not when Mercury is in Cancer. Same thing, like Mars is also in Cancer right now. So we have a lot of planets that are moving into Cancer with the North Node. And again, the North Node is your purpose and so there's a lot of people kind of waking up to what they're supposed to be doing. And if there's a relationship that you're wondering, is this my purpose? Is this what I'm supposed to be? Is this the person I'm supposed to be with? I guarantee you the straight answer right now is there isn't a straight answer. Unless you're really established. Now, I will say there was a very interesting meme that I saw on Instagram. If you aren't following me on Instagram, it's Fearless Intuition 1111. I'm also on Twitter as Betsy, but the E in Betsy is a 3. So it's B3TSY33. If you want to follow me on Twitter. But there was a post on Instagram, it was a meme on Instagram that said, take mixed signals, like do yourself a favor and take mixed signals as a no, as an automatic no. Because if it's a mixed signal, and you don't know what's going on with this mixed signal, it should automatically just be a no. You get it? You jiving with me? All right, my friends, I'm going to stop it there. Please take care of yourself right now. There's, energy is always moving and things are always changing. My shirt, if you're wondering what my shirt says, it says, you can move forward. You're not a tree. And it's true. You're not stuck in the ground. You can actually move forward. You can actually keep going. And because energy is constantly fluidly moving, just remember that you are not stuck in one place ever. Things will always change. Things will always transition into a new way of life. All right, my friends, we'll see you later. Bye.